November 5th, 2007. This is Diehard Gamer Radio, episode 36.
You are approaching the target of attack. Your mission starts now. Are you ready? The countdown begins. 3, 2, 1, go!
You are listening to Diehard Gamer Radio, the source for off-mainstream video game news and topics. And now, your hosts, Murdock, Brian, John, and Steve.
Just a couple more shots.
I'm sure you're half man, half dog. You're your own best friend.
What?
He's a mog?
Yeah.
I'm here to help you save your progress in Final
he's a
Fantasy.
Dan.
What? Okay. So, welcome back to Diehard Gamer Radio.
Don.
Leave the gun. Grab the cannoli.
So, welcome back. I'm Murdock, and with me is John, Brian, and Steve.
And cheese.
And cheese.
And joining us tonight will be a little bit of brie.
It's a double cream brie. Do you want to do like a pretentious review of your cheese? Is it a hardcore cheese or a casual cheese? Do you have to have prior experience with cheese?
It's not triple cream. So
But not casual enough for patty cake crackers.
What?
What's the name of the crackers in the box?
Like the generic
patty
Ritz here.
cake?
Well,
Wow.
Yeah. I could have
That's
sworn
like a
those were
Sesame
Ritz,
Street
but I
label or
guess
something,
not.
dude. That's
so we're doing another.
It's got a little loli on it.
yeah.
We're doing another.
Lolly in a baking hat.
That's
It's like
kind
Death
of.
Smiles crackers.
Don't give Cave ideas. It's probably a real product that they're going to be working on at some point.
And you probably don't want to eat a cracker with like panties imprinted on it. There's just no good that can come of that.
Unless you're doing edible panties.
Or you're selling them in Japan.
Yeah, there's probably a store that specializes in that type of thing in Japan.
I'm thinking there's a chain.
So, or we've just come up with a business idea and we need to go to Japan now.
No, we really don't.
Sell it online.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody else is already selling mirrored floor tiles.
So let's go to our gaming news, and the first bit of news,
It's a gaming podcast and all.
yeah, is Spore announced for the Wii. There's a joke in here somewhere.
Great, we can wait forever for it for the Wii, too.
Yeah. No, we can just wait a wee bit longer.
Yeah, maybe they should stop announcing things and work on the game some.
Okay, is this your
It
first?
says summer next year.
Is
but,
this your
yeah.
first experience with Will Wright games being horribly delayed?
No, but apparently, was it Will Wright that was doing the debate with Jack Thompson, or who was that?
For what, the GDC next year?
No.
I know what you're talking about online. I don't think it was Will Wright. I think it was somebody else.
Some other game developer who very bad at public debate.
Yeah.
It's like, make your point. Oh, wait, you can't.
Oh,
Yeah, that was the CNN one.
I don't remember who it was.
It was one of those news
It was on
shows.
Slashdot today.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of the Fox one they did.
Oh.
That was just very poorly done.
so
Whatever.
so
Nobody cares.
Yeah, Spore is coming out.
Someday when I'm convinced Spore's not going to go into the vapor bin with Duke Nukem Forever, I'll care.
Well, and we also don't even know what kind of game this is, as far as to know from the announcement. Just something kind of Spore-like planned for the Wii.
Yeah, it may not even be a full Spore.
It could be a box with a mushroom in it.
Maybe half a mitochondria.
So, moving on, our next bit of news, location test going on for Samurai Spirits Sen. This interests Brian.
Slightly.
Well, it's the 3D Samurai Spirits. In other words, hopefully it won't suck.
Yep, I've been watching this closely on the forums.
And we all know how well the 2D to 3D conversion of fighting games has worked in the past.
Well, and
for most of them, but some of them have actually been able to pull it off, like Maximum Impact.
I
think it works pretty well for that.
No, well, it didn't.
I guess if you took
Murdock would beg to differ with you.
Maximum Impact 2 was a lot better at it, but yeah.
Well,
I
I don't think it worked with Bariki 1 or was it
No, well, that was
Wild Ambition.
that was the 64. Yeah, that's not
How'd
the
it
same.
work for Street Fighter?
Yeah.
Street Fighter,
Mortal Kombat.
the third
mean
3D
War
Street
Gods?
Fighter game, worst one ever.
Ugh. What a piece of crap that was.
Yeah.
I remember play testing that on the arcade at EE3 at 96.
Wow.
Remember when we went out there to Cali that was the first time I saw that in the arcade. They had it out there on the floor and nobody was playing it. I was like, yeah.
That's not a good sign at a video game conference.
Well, you don't take a game like that to a video game conference because there's already about 50 games that are better than it. That's
Yeah.
a guarantee.
So you're saying don't make crap games, or if you do, don't bother bringing them to the con?
Yeah.
Well, don't bring crap games. That's usually a good rule of thumb as you're trying to sell them.
Or bring plenty of booth babes to cover it up.
I'm still waiting for Harmonica Hero.
Cowbell Hero all the way.
You know what this game needs is more cowbell.
They're just watching the
That's
Prophecy.
a pretty good. That's a pretty good walk in there, Bri.
Well, you know, I try.
All right, now it's Shatner.
Yeah, I'm going Shatner. You know, there's a fine line between walk and Shatner.
Oh, really? Now
One sounds intelligent, the other just sounds like he's like a 60s singer. You know?
Thank you very much. We're going to slow it down a bit. Next up, Rock Band to be in short supply. This will probably interest no one, as Steve is going to wait until Rock Band is,
Easily obtainable.
yeah. So
On the other hand, I'm going to rack up pre-orders like a mofo.
You seem to be betting that eBay sales are actually going to pay off for this one.
Well, it's a 50-50 deal. Worst case, I take it back and get my money back. It's a win-win situation.
yeah, true.
One way I win a little bit more than the other, so I got a credit card, so it's a worthwhile investment right now.
So,
Possible worthwhile.
have they
investment.
announced any band that you're interested in, Rock Band? Because I haven't even had a chance to keep track of that.
I don't remember who's on the
I
track
don't remember
list.
the track list either.
The
Because
Who
they
is
only
there
showed a
now.
partial list originally, and that
Well,
was
Who's on Rock Band?
Well, every 2 weeks they put out the full complete set list for Rock
Yeah.
Band with a little thing at the bottom that says more tracks to be announced. Well, okay, so once again, not the complete track list.
Yeah.
So how
So-
is this a complete track list again? Oh, it's not.
Yeah.
Have you seen the sales numbers on Guitar Hero 3?
No.
Apparently it's going to make up something like a third of Activision's profits for the year.
Jesus. And that's forcing people to buy the guitar with it, too. Jesus. Who would have thought they'd make money off that?
Well, I mean, it's got name. It's just,
That sounds like they've got a real hit franchise on their hands.
they can sell one every year now along with Madden.
So Rock Band 4 coming out. Well, they might as well just skip the Roman numerals to Rock Band 95. Rock
Well, the
Band
thing
96.
is, and I hate to say it, but, Guitar Hero 3 was kind of more of the same.
Yeah.
Well,
the only reason for that game was to push a wireless guitar
Well,
and push it for all three
There really
systems.
wasn't anything too awesomely thing where I'm like, oh, wow, that's a really cool feature. I need to have that.
Yeah.
now Guitar Hero 3 is what, EA now?
Activision.
That's Activision?
EA has Rock Band.
Ah.
This is also why Activision is currently the largest third-party software publisher and has passed up EA
Yeah.
entirely due to Guitar Hero.
Well, they're also large because they don't, keep laying off half their staff.
Well,
It's all
EA
Guitar Hero.
is all about...
EA is all about control is what they're about.
Well, they're doing all their let's lay off everybody who works for EA ever right now. So, I'm sorry, they're reorganizing.
Yeah. Even after they bought, all these companies. BioWare and, who was it, the other company?
Pandemic.
Pandemic.
What did
They bought one company.
They got BioWare and Pandemic like 5 minutes ago, though, so it really doesn't count.
Yeah. Oh, they'll lay them off in about, a month.
Seems unlikely. They might wait until their big, high-profile games they bought them for.
Okay,
come
well,
out.
yeah. When is EA
So they
known
can
for...
fix the patches and
Yeah,
bugs.
when has EA been known for common sense?
I can't remember the last time EA killed a franchise that had a whole ton of hype behind it.
Well, Archon was very... Oh, wait. Wow.
No, that was when Electronic Arts was ECA, not EA.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's
Wow.
right.
Remember they had
Flashback.
that logo that you couldn't read?
Yeah.
I believe the standard operating plan is you release the game, and if it does poorly, everybody gets fired.
That seems like a sound business plan. Let's get rid of the programmers.
Well, they can't force them to work overtime anymore,
which
and not
bodes
pay
well
them.
for
So
the it's not a Star Wars MMO. It's not project.
Yeah. So next up, it is the 1-year anniversary of the closing of Lixang. They got shut down because
A year
Sony did. Yeah, it's been about a year now.
doesn't seem like it.
So it was a year ago.
Yes.
Oh.
So
365 days.
Only been that long, huh?
yeah,
Well, fortunately, PlayAsia totally took up the slack for me.
yeah. Well,
PlayAsia was never underdog in the situation either. I mean, they were always a heavy contender. In fact, they
Yeah,
were probably
PlayAsia
2/3 of the market over there, literally.
yeah, PlayAsia and NCS. So no shortage of being able to import the games you
NCS
want.
this side of the pond, PlayAsia
Well, yeah.
that side.
Yeah, but NCS's website is a lot more entertaining.
Yeah. NCS goes out of their way to acquire certain deals, too. I mean, they'll deal with certain people on the street that will go into, like, 7-Elevens where it's the only place you can get a game exclusively, and then, yeah, you got to pay out the ass for it, but at least you still get an opportunity to buy the game. So it's kind of neat that some of the deals they'll do to get things out
Probably
there.
just
They
some,
get the rare stuff, but they never have the sales like PlayAsia.
No,
does.
PlayAsia is probably about 5 times larger than they are.
well, and it helps that they're kind of in the middle of Asia and all.
PlayAsia also carries about 5 times as much stuff too. I mean, they have a huge amount.
Well,
of
they
stuff
are.
in each.
Yeah, they are located in what is it? Are they Hong Kong?
I think it is Hong Kong because I think that everything I've gotten from this was shipped from Hong Kong.
Yeah. So next up, Telenet Japan is no more. Telenet is dead, unfortunately.
Telnet's dead.
Not Telnet.
Yay! Everybody's going to have to switch to SSH.
Telnet's dead. So is BSD. What else is? Netcraft confirms it.
Yes, because
Here's a bunch of nerd jokes for you.
Netcraft is a perfectly reliable source. Oh wait. So the Slashdot thread, which is Steve's mind.
Yeah, kind of is. I don't have a 4-digit /.ID for nothing.
Are
You
gonna
are
say-
proud of your 4-digit
I am.
/.ID. For
Although you
nothing.
can't really flaunt it, because as soon as you try to flaunt your low /.ID, then people start coming out of the woodwork, and like the 2-digiters show up, and Commander Taco shows up, and he's got number 1, and happens pretty much every time.
Yeah. Well, it was like what was that? That there was a poll on Slashdot. It's like what's how many digits is in your ID, and the first radio circle has like it's a 1-digit number, but there shouldn't be more than 10 of the responses. And that had like the highest amount of responses, like 50%.
There was a thing on their 10th anniversary thing where somebody was saying, blah, 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 and then one said, okay, now here's the post for places that are really low, and some guy went, oh, I'm really low. And I'm like going, all mine was, reply to his was, meh. And then after that, there was a couple. And then one of my college roommates replied to me going, wow, you're old! And he had a 3-digit. I'm like, dude!
Men more likely to steal and lie about casual games. So
What does that even mean?
Maybe if we're trying to impress women, but
no,
what?
No. Well, what it is that
Spit it out.
there's a report that says that men are just as likely as women to play casual games, but women are more likely to pay for the games, and men don't want people to know that they're playing casual games.
Oh, so you're just saying lying about the fact that they play them?
Yeah,
Oh,
What the
okay.
hell is this even? What?
What did you get this off of?
it was off Reuters.
And how did they define casual games?
Oh no.
That's like the last place I go for.
Well, I love it.
gaming news.
I love the fact that the report was commissioned by the Casual Games Association.
Yeah,
That's great.
there's
Yeah.
and
Half those guys lie.
Well, they're probably
Yes.
really interested to find out who's buying their stuff. I mean, they would seem like the people who would want to know.
well, yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, we're all guys here. Do we play casual games?
I don't know what a casual game
Oh
is.
my god.
I never have.
I don't even play casually. I'm fucking like full bore a couple hours a day.
I don't know what casual games are. I don't know if I play them or not. I really don't.
That's too, yeah. I think he's got a point.
PopCap?
No.
If it's anything that like PopCap would make, or if
If it has colors and cute sounds, it's probably a casual game.
So Creatures was a
If it has
casual game?
pictures, it has puzzle games with jewels or Sphinx pictures or Egyptian what have you.
Something, what's it not?
Yeah.
Odds
It could
are
be
it's
a Flash applet.
Wow, Flash is pretty complicated these days.
Oh, you mean like that Portal Flash game?
Yeah. All right, do something else now.
All right.
7.
Concept to be released in U.S. for DS, and this is a rumor.
This isn't changing the 360 release at all, is it?
As far as I know, no.
Is it going to be the
It's
same
rumored not to
game as the
change it.
360 release?
Unknown.
Unknown.
That's-
Okay, this is
it's
a really
not
sweet
rumored
rumor.
not to change it.
That's all we know is that it might be coming out on the DS.
Alrighty. Has it come out in Japan?
I see a
on the
rumor and
DS?
raise you a casual lie.
No, it hasn't.
I see a rumor.
The Xbox 360
I see a
concept has
casual
released,
lie
though.
and raise you an offhanded fib.
All right, now.
I'll direct that offhanded fib with a white lie.
Also, to go back real
I
quickly.
summon the dark magician.
Stop that. Telenet Japan, just for those who don't know, created Valis and a bunch of other really, really hard games. Well, El Viento was kind of hard.
Way back in the day.
Yeah, and Cosmic Fantasy 2, which came out by Working Designs. And they're also out of business. But anyway, moving on.
So,
I'm seeing
shockingly,
a pattern.
the business plan of making obscure games for a niche market didn't pay off with the big dollars.
Yeah.
And even more shockingly, making that niche market, making nude games for a niche
Oh,
market.
yeah, making
was,
smut games. Yeah,
with
that,
those same titles, not
that didn't work out too well.
Not going to play your ass.
Although
out of
I would
bankruptcy.
have really liked to see a smut version of El Viento. That would have been pretty hot. But moving on. Next up, a $99 PS2 model sometime in 2008. If you don't already have a PS2, that would probably be a good time to buy one.
Or
Well,
if yours broke.
It's kind of interesting.
Well,
They're
if it's
actually bothering to put out
$99,
a new model.
If it's $99,
It
it's
pretty
probably-
much speaks
The
something
PS2's
for.
got another good 3 years.
Well,
in
that's why it
easily.
speaks for Sony's not just playing lip service. To
Well, they have to
keeping
because
the
they're
PS2
cutting out the
going,
backwards
so.
compatibility out of their PS3s. They
So it's
got to
actually-
give you some
there's
sort of
that.
So it's
format
actually-
to play the games.
It's
on.
actually cheaper to buy a
there's
PS3 and a PS2 for $99.
Well, not actually.
Well,
Good try.
yeah, okay. Well, I
E for
tried.
effort.
Um,
F for delivery.
But so to make the PS2 $99, it's probably like a papercraft model or something like that.
Yes, it's.
I'd say
it's
that Slim
origami.
model's really close, anyways.
You build it yourself. It's a snap type.
As
Yeah,
I
it's a
understand
snap
it,
type
the,
PS2.
The hardware change is they're moving the power supply into the PS2 itself. So they'll be able to shrink the packaging a bit.
Okay.
Well, there wasn't really that much. of
That
a
power
supply.
supply wasn't that big, yeah.
No, it wasn't
So
a
I
lot
guess
of
it's
power.
not going to make that much of a difference.
Yeah,
I
no.
think, TurboGrafx or PC Engine had the best idea way back in the day where they put it out in the center. The plug from the wall plug coming in was its own wall. That was its own cord, and then the power adapter connected to that, and then connected into the system. That was just the smartest way to ever go.
Well, the Xbox.
I don't
The
know that
Xbox
that's
tried
the
to do it
best
too,
one.
but theirs was like 5 times the size. That thing draws so much power, it will stay lit up on the adapter 10 seconds after you disconnect it from the wall. That's a lot of power to be sucking out. The light stays on. That's always cracked me up, but yeah, okay. Moving right along.
So,
Guess I'm the only one to notice that.
well,
How long does the LEDs on your main board stay lit when you pull the power cable off the back? Those transformers hold a charge for a while because they do the.
It's like 2 or 3
AC/DC
seconds,
conversion.
maybe. That thing, it's like somewhere between 5 and 10 seconds. It's a
That's
long.
how long mine stays lit up on my motherboard.
Does it?
It takes a long time for this charge to drop off.
I just don't watch those things. I am a weird.
Buddy, you're missing out.
yeah,
telling you.
yeah. All these lights
I must
that
be
you're
a
missing.
weirdo or something. I don't know.
All these lights that you're missing. So
I'm missing out, blinded by the anyway.
You
okay.
need more blinkies in your life.
Dots blinking lights.
What, the clown?
Yes, the clown.
Okay.
He needs more
Number
clowns.
9.
Number 9.
Mainstream media makes a big deal of Manhunt 2. Gamers, not so much.
Well, I don't think we need to say anything more about that. Number 10.
Yeah. Although I did like, there was one really.
You're saying more about it.
Well, there's one thing I wanted to add. It was CBS Morning Show had someone playing Manhunt 2 on the Wii and flailing around like a constipated monkey, and Dr. Phil had like the greatest look on him, like, is there something wrong with you, boy? You got constipation or something like that?
I find it more disturbing that you're watching the morning show. On
I was doing research for this.
Well, it came on right before The View.
Oh, my don't you start.
Murdock, you're a woman.
I am. I live in a wonderful world of femininity.
Yeah, I will admit that
you
Rachel
guys
Ray
choose-
show is fucking hilarious, man.
I watch it.
That one
I
morning,
watch
and that
it
was
for
a riot.
I watch.
She's
it for
a
the-
babe too. That voice.
As long as she doesn't open her mouth. Moving on.
Voice. How's that work?
I don't know. Number 10.
Number 10.
Already talking too much about Manhunt
Okay.
2.
Visual shock, speed shock, sound shock. Alien
I'm
Soldier.
shocked.
Yeah, Alien Soldier sets the 68,000 heart on fire on the Wii. I'm the only one that gets that joke.
Yeah, well,
So,
it wasn't that big of a joke.
I saw the release for this, wondered whether or not it was interesting. Instead of spending money on the Virtual Console release, I went to Google and typed Alien Soldier ROM, was playing the game 30 seconds later, and stopped playing the game a minute and 30 seconds later.
Well, it is a very hard game.
It was, a pretty affordable way to go about doing it, and continues to make me wonder why people like to pay Nintendo for playing the same games.
Because
they already
people
have.
don't know what you know.
Information
Right.
is power.
They don't know
Yes.
anything about
We're
emulators or
going to
ROMs.
hack the Gibson.
No, the 68,000.
Well, actually, you're going to have to pay about
Is that a
800.
Motorola processor? That really confuses me.
I'm not sure what the reference is. I think it's like one of the. I think it is a Motorola processor in like a Genesis or a Mega Drive.
Well, the Atari ST.
Yeah, but Alien Soldier Treasure Game.
There's a
very, very,
ancient
very, very
reference
hard.
that dates me.
Yeah.
I'm going to go make some mod sequence stuff on my Atari ST.
Okay, stop that.
So,
Speaking of Atari, did you see that Ben Heck is selling his Atari mod?
Yeah, I saw
which
that.
one?
You have to send in a 2600, a working 2600 to him, and pay him. I think it's like $325 or $350, and he makes
Dude.
a portable Atari 2600 with a cartridge plugs in right into
Yeah,
the top of the portable.
Yeah, Brian, I have a portable Atari 2600. It's called my flash drive.
Yeah, well, it's a cool oddball mod if you got the extra money.
Mark,
I don't being able to just pull out a cartridge and slam the thing into the port.
No,
It sticks out literally right above the screen. I mean, that's probably the
Now,
only
what's
downside
up,
unless you want to play it outside and use it for a shade.
So what's up, Steve?
I don't understand your footnote for number 11.
Oh, I'm getting to it. So the next one.
It seems to be missing an object for the sentence.
Yes,
Well-
you needed to have read the Kotaku article.
Ah.
So let's just skip it entirely. Some people got arrested for doing something fascinating.
So celebrating the 20-year anniversary of a console. How do you get arrested for that?
The same way you get arrested for any other act of graffiti.
Is that what it was? Was it an
They
actual?
were putting posters up on a construction site that they had no right to do so.
And that's a felony in Japan?
It's enough to get arrested, apparently.
Oh.
It's felony annoyance.
It's felony. Why do you think anybody else cares except for you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, next up, Death Smiles has the greatest arcade flyer ever.
Note, the opinions of Murdock may not represent the opinions of other members of this podcast.
Well, true. It is very wrong, though. I should make that available as a download on our website, though.
Well, at least
Here's a
wrong
link
in
to the
same
flyer.
way that Japan is always wrong.
Yeah, Japan is always wrong.
You know what Japan can be is like eternal fodder for that Daria series Six Sad World.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Welcome back to Six Sad World.
Our 200-part series on Japan.
Yes, it's the
Oh.
entire series.
Yeah.
All right, whatever.
So next up, LucasArts and BioWare team up again to work on undisclosed interactive entertainment product.
That
in
isn't a
quote.
Star Wars MMO. Really, believe us, it's not.
Wow.
Why do you keep asking?
Another rumor that has no substantial information to it.
It'll be a Raiders of the
Yay.
Lost Ark MMO.
Well, I mean, really, sure, LucasArts and
The-
has lots of other franchise in intellectual
Yeah.
property, but really,
Indiana Jones.
I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Seriously.
Indiana
Really wants
Jones
to do
5.
anything Star Wars related
Yeah.
anymore.
No, it's Indiana. Like I said, Indiana Jones
They
MMO.
can only be better than Star Wars Galaxies.
The weaponry will be
Well,
real
I will
interesting.
admit, Battlefront just came out on the PSP, and that was a reason to push another portable or another version of the Slim. But that's pretty much all that's going on for it.
Well,
There's
not
not
with
really.
EA owning BioWare. EA really desperately wants an MMO that brings in a cash revenue stream, and
Well,
how
then
can
EA
you
should
not-
probably not be making it.
Well, yeah, but people play EverQuest still, so
And what do we call these people?
Does EA
EverQuest.
have an MMO?
no, they don't.
Wow.
Well, they tried.
They just haven't managed to get a successful one.
Yeah, I think
Was
I
Earth
kinda-
and Beyond an EA one?
No, I don't think so.
That failed horribly too.
They had a pretty devoted, not very big, but pretty devoted
Yeah, but
thing
they
until
killed the server, so obviously it wasn't devoted enough.
well, they didn't have enough people. It just boiled down to.
Yeah.
I mean, they were killed by EA Earth and Beyond came out right around the same time as EverQuest and Dark Age of Camelot, and
Which are obviously more popular.
yeah, well,
Was
Popular enough to keep them going.
was it EA that bought Origin then? Did they end
Yes.
up with Ultima Online there for a while?
they did, and yeah,
That's why Lord British now works for NC Soft.
yes,
And Tabula Rasa is out now, isn't it?
yep,
Yeah.
it's pretty decent.
I've heard it's so-so.
Well,
Nothing too exciting, but
it's different than normal MMOs.
Which is a hell of an achievement.
Yeah. I mean, it's the problem is that there's I keep reading these threads with people that played it. Apparently, the beta in March or something, and have decided that they're off. They know everything that happened in the beta now, and know exactly what the game is about. I'm like, I was in the beta for 2 months, and it changed a lot from the beginning of the 2 months to the end of the 2 months. So shut up and sit down and stop typing.
go back and play it again.
Does that
Yeah.
ever work?
No.
Damn.
No, it doesn't. It's pretty fun. Killing stuff, shooting at stuff, actually missing when you're not aiming at the thing.
Having tons of NPCs running around sounded pretty nifty too.
Yeah,
On
yeah.
both
I
sides.
actually I happened to be in a landing zone when a bunch of the Bane landed a big assault force, and we almost lost the landing zone. It was pretty cool. And I was the only player character I think was there. All the rest were NPCs, and they can fight a good fight.
Well, that's cool. Well, at least you're not alone.
Well, that's the thing. That's a great thing. You don't have to be in a group.
It's
'cause the
impressive that
group's like,
NPCs can fight.
they did a pretty good fight there. It was like, wow, there's this guy walking around in his little mech. They got power armor guys running around in their power armor, firing and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Okay. So, lastly, GameStop canceling their warranty program for Xbox 360. And John had brought this up because apparently, what's going on with GameStop here? Is it just that they're...
We take you live to John.
Well, I think the interesting
Well,
note about
Murdock.
this is it sounds like GameStop doesn't have any confidence in the new hardware revision to be more reliable than the old one.
Well,
I
yeah.
don't know if that means they're actually being short-sighted or not, because I'm sure they don't have any real numbers on reliability for the new hardware any more than anybody else does.
Maybe they're just losing their asses on it.
Cut their
Maybe.
losses and run.
Yeah.
Maybe GameStop really doesn't know what they're doing half the time.
Well, that's...
Well, that's a given.
that's very true.
We know
I
this
was
to be
talking
true.
to the guy at the GameStop down on over by Roger and Emily's place. I can't remember exactly the cross street there. But I'm like going, I'm just first I was sad because their PC section's 2 shelves now. And then I was like going, so that's so sad. He's like, why? I'm like, well, you're not really an EB anymore. And you only have like 2 shelves of games. He's like, well, it's GameStop and we're mostly the same. I'm like going, well, okay, it's like 75% GameStop, 25% at max EB. And he's like, yeah, that's probably right.
Especially because they dropped the salaries and all the EB
Yeah.
employees left.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they were forced to leave.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
The manager is pretty decent for retail,
Yeah, too bad the the GameStops I go to, the people are clowns.
Well, yeah, they pretty much are.
Yeah. So,
Well, I liked how there was Hellgate London and Tabula Rasa both out, the day before I got there. And when I went there, they had no copies out anywhere. It was just behind the shelf, and you had to ask for it. I'm like, so this is porn? What is this? Like, way to go on promoting, some of the most, well-publicized PC games. I found out where the PC games are actually being, advertised now? In the Realms of Fantasy magazine.
Okay.
There's like PC game ads in there, like every 10 pages or something.
Well,
I'm
I
like,
guess
well,
it's a
this
good
is
place
where
for
they're
an
getting.
MMO.
Because
Well,
now it's the fantasy MMOs are the only things driving.
No,
the
it's all
industry at
like
this
these
point.
weird, all these weird one-player fantasy games, RPG games that I'd never heard of that are.
One of the things I do think is really sad, though, is you mentioned that the PC games are down to 2 shelves now. Yeah, I walk into my local GameStop, and the amount of space dedicated to PC games is now the same amount of shelf space that was dedicated to Mac games a decade ago.
wait. Mac.
Ironic, isn't it?
And the Jaguar. The Jaguar also had 2 shelves.
Well, those
there-
games weren't exactly that large.
Man, their Amiga section has shrunk lately.
Yeah, they have. Man, there was a software etc. that had that flight simulator that Hornet flight simulator for the Amiga running for probably 5 years straight. It just never went away. And Dark Castle on a Mac Classic for years.
Dear God. That's pretty cool. Was this like a museum of some kind?
It was because they were like in this really like the ass end of a mall, kind of like when the malls always have those one little legs that like all the stores go to die. That's where the software.
It's like that.
Or like
Yeah.
the anchor disappears and
Yeah.
the stores just start shutting
It's
down.
like there was a Dillard's here, but now it's just like an empty hallway.
Yeah,
and
it's an empty
You have to
hallway
go
with a
past
dead
the spider webs.
the cobwebs and crap. Yeah,
You know,
that's what this place was.
It's like, okay, well, we now call it Pedophile Alley. It's just right by the
That's
arcade.
where the
with,
photo booth is. and those funny paper easy chairs.
Yeah, there was a Lens Crafters here, but now it's just some Indian guy selling rugs.
Yeah.
That's
That's where it was.
We know a lot about dead malls because we have
Another
several of
Asian
them
gift
here in
shop.
Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on.
Or a place that sells paintings.
We'll give you more stories of dead mall experiences here. The Orange Julius of the damned. So, moving on, our first topic is Nintendo's Blue Ocean strategy.
I don't know what this is.
I have an explanation of the Blue Ocean strategy
Oh.
at the bottom.
Or you could just say it's Nintendo's casual gamer strategy.
Oh my God!
Expand the market.
So,
They make casual games.
but is it really expanding the market?
Oh, so they're just making games for non-gamers. Oh, this is shocking.
Yeah,
Nobody's ever tried to do that before.
yeah, but they're actually succeeding.
Well,
Well, they're selling a lot of hardware. And as far as I can tell right now, the Wii is like a successful GameCube. There's not any more games coming out for it. And all the good ones are still coming from
So
Nintendo.
now,
People
Yeah.
are just buying them.
well, how is that different from pretty much any Nintendo system since the Super NES?
but I think, are people just buying it for Wii Sports and then
Yes.
not realizing that there's other games for the system?
Or not caring.
Or something. I mean, I don't know.
Once you got that tennis racket simulator, what more do you need?
Well, that's actually kind of an
The
interesting.
bowling simulator.
Well, what's kind of interesting is if you watch.
Bowling 2008.
No, there's a Brunswick bowling on there, I believe now.
Well, it was really odd because I was watching the Wii. I watched a Wii commercial and the entire ad was just how families could get together, blah blah blah. But the thing was that it all showed them playing Wii Sports.
They're all playing Red Storm or whatever the hell. it
Yeah.
was.
No, they were all playing Wii Sports.
Even the ones that shows Grandma and Grandpa playing, they're playing some sort of motion game, some sort of sports motion game.
So
And when they get tired of Wii Sports, they can pick up a minigame collection. That'll be set forever.
that'll be like
Yeah.
Wii Play.
Yeah.
So, but are they seeing it as a fad though?
In
Is
5 years, Tiger Electronics buys Nintendo.
We come out with a new Nintendo DS dual LCD screen display.
Yes.
OLED dual display.
Yes.
No, back to monochrome. It'd be great.
It's like that Double Dragon. Did you ever play the Double
It's-
Dragon in
it's
Tiger
retro.
Electronics? That was awesome.
They're gonna revert back to Game and Watch graphics.
Yep.
Dual screen. No, actually, the original Game & Watch was dual screen.
Instead of buying cartridges, you'll just buy new screens. You slot in. It'll be great.
Oh, like the Vectrex.
Yeah,
Look like Etch-a-Sketch screens.
But, I mean,
are there hardcore gamers other than Brian that are buying Wiis?
I bought a Wii.
Other than Brian and Murdock?
Well, because you guys like your Zelda, right?
I didn't buy Zelda for the Wii. I had it on the GameCube long before I bought a Wii.
So why'd you buy a Wii?
I bought it on opening day with a Wii.
Why
I knew
did
it was
I
gonna
buy a
be
Wii?
Yeah.
Because there's a bunch of games that are coming out in the next
Never
month.
buy a system for games that aren't out yet.
Okay, the games come out
There are
like
plenty
in
of
like
virtual
2
games.
weeks.
He's got like 5 DVDs of MAME ROMs. Never buy a system for games that aren't out yet. How long have you been doing this?
Okay, Knights and Super Mario Galaxy come out like next week.
Yeah.
So I wanted to
Do
get
you
the
have
system
confidence in Knights?
I
Have
have
you seen the screenshots for it? It looks like ass, man.
it. I'm hoping Sega pulls a miracle, but
Because Sega's really been making such great retreads of their old franchises.
yeah.
Hey, one of the 3 Sonics was good.
Which one? Is that the one where you don't play Sonic?
Well, that would be Sonic Adventure 2. That's
No,
actually
Sonic Adventure 2 was awful. The first Sonic Adventure I had fun with.
well, Sonic Adventure 2, like Steve said, that's the best game where you do not play as Sonic.
Yeah.
That was back when Sega still had hardware.
Yeah.
But is the Wii a fad?
I don't know. Who knows? We'll find out
I don't think
eventually.
so. I think there's still plenty of stuff
they're
to
only-
do, because I saw Resident
but-
Evil on there, and it looks freaking awesome. The
Yeah.
gun game that uses the zapper, I'm looking forward to that.
But people are just buying the hardware. They're not. It doesn't seem like they're buying a lot of the software, and you're not going to make any money just off the hardware.
You know, the system isn't even a year old yet. It's literally going to be a year old very soon, but
I don't know.
it came out in October, didn't it?
Yeah, so
Correct me. Okay, correction. It is a year old, but I mean, it takes more than a year before you get a good run of software out there. It was the same with the Xbox. It was the same with the 360.
I think we'll really be
It
able
was
to
more
tell
than a year before
more
I was
after
willing.
Christmas.
I was willing to buy it, but the Wii was different. I knew there was going to be a lot of fun to play
Well,
with that, and I've gotten a lot of
this-
play
this-
with friends and
and of
parties.
course,
and
this
things.
does not. These rules do not apply for the PlayStation 3, which I don't think there's any good games on it.
That's
yet.
going to be like 2 or 3 years, unfortunately.
Well, if they make
They
the release
can't
dates
seem
for it
to-
on it, it'll be about a year and a half out before we start seeing the big titles.
Mm.
And that's about the
MGS4,
time they'll
all
stop
that.
making different consoles.
There's been 5 PlayStation.
You won't
3s
get
now?
you won't get real big games for the PS3 until they run out PS2s.
He does have a point. But also,
Nobody wants to program for it.
you know,
I
so
don't
we're
think
saying the
anybody
Wii's not
really
really a
likes to
fad,
program
and it's
for it.
kind of. So we're saying it kind of expanded the market, but the market's not really buying
No,
anything
who
other than
knows?
Wii Sports.
I really, this is going to be the first.
There's still other games on there. There's like a carnival pack now.
Yeah, but
you
they're
can
not.
get. You play
I
all
mean, they're
these
not. It
carnival
doesn't seem like
games.
people are buying it. They're just kind of, well, here's a game. You know,
Yeah, I don't
There's
know.
nothing huge out there. I mean, the stuff you definitely wait for is always first party. It's always Nintendo's games.
yeah, but
I mean, I waited patiently, but I knew Metroid Prime 3 would be out, and it came out, and it was an awesome game. I definitely enjoyed it.
now the last thing about this one is, what about the hardcore that feels left out? And if Steve says, "What's a hardcore game?" I will smack him.
What's a hardcore game?
Oh my god!
And why do they feel left out? I mean,
Because there's
Nintendo is still
Yeah, I
continuing
mean-
to make the same small slice of hardcore games about one a year.
Well, no,
that they've always done.
actually, I was thinking about this. All the hardcore games, they are available for the Wii. You just have to go online and pay for them and download off the Virtual Console.
Or
Yeah.
just
Well,
have
that's
MAME.
buying the same goddamn games you already bought before.
Well, no, they have
That doesn't-
they have games now that didn't come out in this country. You know,
finding a way to charge
Right.
people to emulate old stuff. Great. I mean, Nintendo's made a amazing business model off selling your games again and again. It doesn't exactly, sell the console.
I don't know. What I think we were really going to boil down to is we massively don't care.
well, you don't care about anything, Steve.
I do. I just,
What
Not
do
all
you
at
care
once.
about, other than Allison Hannigan?
Maybe Satoru Iwata?
Yes, I care about topic number 2.
Oh yes, Satoru Iwata, which just happens to be the person in charge of Nintendo of Japan, says a 4-year console life cycle is too inflexible. Is it? I'm thinking.
Not when your next generation console is just a speed bump for your last generation one.
Pretty soon they're just going to sell new processors for the Wii.
In an attachment that's like a plastic attachment, you have to just,
Yeah, it's going to be like the overdrive
It's going to connect to your cell phone.
for the DX266. It's like my 46SX Wii.
don't give Nintendo
It's going to be an
ideas.
add-on for the iPhone.
Yeah, or something.
So, 4-year life cycle 2 inflexible, they're saying, well, you know what? It's too short of a time for a console to get, established, and that's like, I don't
Bullshit.
agree with it.
I don't know. Let's have them start coming out with one every 6 months, and we'll see how they do.
Well, I think you're missing the point here. Bro.
You're going the wrong direction, yeah.
They're like a console every 6 or 7 years, which which we already have. That it's called the PlayStation 2.
By the time the next generation comes out, it's not even going to be a console anymore. It's going to be an emergence of something
They're
else.
just worried if you...
We're probably like 2 generations away from it just merging completely with one single box that just plays.
Well,
all
that's
these different games.
EA's pipe dream is to have that one console, so they only have to develop for one.
Yeah, except then they end up with one, like the PC, that has a range of different hardware. But that was last podcast discussion.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to do Murdock does Metroid Fusion, and
You are Murdock.
and yes, that has been
You
established.
really don't need to talk about yourself in the third person.
That's true.
He's using the royal me.
Yeah.
Next, he's going to let us eat cheesecake.
It's a good thing you're the funny one, Brian.
Yes, it is.
So what it was is that I have had a hard time trying to get into Metroid Fusion. It's a mission-based Metroid.
Yeah.
It's really, I could never get into it, so I said, you know what? I'm just going to sit down and really just try and play it all the way through because I've never been able to beat the whole thing. So I play it, and, after a while, I start to appreciate the design of the game. It's, a lot more linear than I would like a Metroid to be.
I think it's called brainwashing.
Well, true. But it is a very solid Metroid game, and for some reason it seems really difficult. I don't know if that's just me, or I don't know if it's because it's Game Boy Advance or whatever, but it just seems a little bit harder than a normal Metroid game.
My experience with it was getting stuck about a third of the way through in one area that just no fucking way out of it.
No, there's a way out of everything in Metroid.
I'm sure there is, but
You didn't want to take the patience
6
to figure it out.
hours trying to go through every possible
Was it right
thing
after that
and never
spider
found it.
boss?
It's like
fight him
after
in the
you fight the
underneath
spider
cavern.
boss for a second time, you're in this underwater area.
Yeah, I know what you're
Can't
talking
find
about.
a way out of that fucking place. I gave up.
Huh.
That was my experience with Metroid Fusion. I was not pleased.
Well, I was able to get to the final boss, and I could never get into it, but now I'm really into it. It was just, for some reason, it was too linear for me. But as I got through it, it's like, okay, well, it's not as linear as I thought it was, but it's still pretty decent. So I don't remember how much I paid for it originally, but that was like a long
Not as
time
linear
ago.
as Blaster Master.
Blaster Master is really not that linear. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
it kinda
stages,
is.
and you have to have things to get to other stages, but you can kind of explore to a certain extent. But yeah,
Yeah, you can't really move on, though,
until you get the power up
get
that
the
you need
things.
to move forward, and that's a hard game too.
Yeah, well, that was a fun game.
Yeah, I have all the maps of the game off on my
Hard
computer.
but fun.
Hard but
I
fun.
remember when games were fun.
And when was that?
It's been a while.
When Dirt Jockey came out?
Back when we've had time to play games. I bought the new Castlevania for the PSP like over a week ago, and I still haven't opened it. Still haven't had time.
I don't know. I mean, I played Halo 3 through in one sitting. So,
I beat it. Halo 1?
Halo 3.
Oh, yeah. I was just saying, I beat
You
it in
played
2
it on
sittings.
normal, didn't you, though?
Yeah.
Because hardcore was definitely a much better experience for that.
But,
Or whatever the next step up from normal is.
I don't know.
I think
I
it's
found it-
hardcore. I think
I enjoyed
like novice or beginner, and then it's normal, then hardcore, and then expert.
The legendary, I know.
Or
is the top
legendary,
one.
yeah.
But Metroid
I know.
Prime, good
I know,
game.
it's fun.
worth buying if you like Metroid.
I thought it was fun, and I enjoyed it too, until you
Yeah.
get to that spot where you get stuck, and it's kind of annoying. It's
Well,
just such
I
it's a
got-
bad level bug for that.
It's not a level bug. There's
Well,
a way,
it's not
there's
a
way
bug,
around
but
everything.
it's almost impossible to find your way out of that spot, and it shouldn't have been that hard.
Well, it is like the
Frustrating.
hardest 2D Metroid out there.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to review, Brian, or have you even played anything?
No, I wanted to do Castlevania. I just haven't had time to play it.
Oh, okay. So Brian's
Review it anyway.
yeah, you'd be.
Well, technically, the
I
game's
got a
been out for
box.
about 20 years.
You'd be just as good as GameStop.
Yeah.
Well, we could review Symphony of the Night because we've already played that and beat
Game
it.
tip.
Although I understand they redid the translation and voice work for Symphony of the Night. On
Yeah, they
the
made it
PS3
worse.
version.
Well-
That's not what I heard, and I don't believe that's possible.
Have at you! I am the
Still be an
master of this
improvement.
castle.
Still better.
I don't know if that's. Yeah. It's better than poo. Well, if it's better than poo, then it's poo that smells good. It's still poo. So, no review from you, Bri.
I got nothing.
Anything
Actually, you know what I could do? I could do Heroes of Might and Magic 5 for the PC.
Oh,
I've been playing that lately.
give
I
us.
get a few hours in this last couple of weeks.
So, give us your 1 minute review on that.
Heroes of
have-
Might and Magic.
Does it have heroes?
Yes.
Does it have magic?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Are they mighty?
Indeed. Tenfold mighty. No, it's probably my most favorite turn-based game that I've ever played. I've really got into that. I've been playing it back since 3 was out, and 4 was so-so. It's always been like a 2D turn-based game, though. You play some sort of hero. You have an army you can't see until you go into battle that you carry with you, and you build up a castle, and at your castle you can build on parts to the castle, or
No, is this like an RTS or because I'm not
it's like
familiar
a
with the series.
turn-based / RTS game. Yeah,
Okay.
it's more like tactical and turn-based together. You go to your castle, you build up armies, you like create stables for horses, or you create a nesting area for griffins, and you can upgrade them to Imperial Griffins. All your creatures you can do that with, and in the meantime you.
Do you have to mine,
from
do you have
town
to mine
center to
for
Citadel
resources
to-
and stuff like
Yeah,
that?
you actually go out with your army and you fight other. You conquer like ore mines, wood mills, sawmills, and you have a certain amount of creatures that are generally guarding those. But if you build your armies right and you attack them right, when you go into battle, if you attack them, you have a chance to do a tactical thing where you can set your enemies where you think you want them. And then you go into battle, and certain enemies are good at melee, certain are good at distance. So
Okay.
it goes back and forth, and your hero generally has magic if you have a mage guild built in your
Now,
castle.
how balanced is this game?
I'd say it's fairly balanced. In fact, the add-on Hammers of Fate just came out recently, and it's really cool because they added simultaneous play. So if you and a friend, like my friend and I do, play co-op, both you can take your turn at the same time. Then when you click done, the computer's players go at the same time, and it's instead of
So
going
you can
one
like
right
attack
after
in
the other.
squadrons.
Well, instead of him going and then waiting for him to finish and then I get to go, then the computer goes and the other computer goes, now we can do it in groups and it
Okay.
goes faster and the game
That's
just becomes even
interesting
more
for an
fun.
RTS.
But yeah, it's neat because they took 5 actually takes the 2D and makes it 3D. It's more of like a 30-degree angle, and it brings so much more life to the game. It really looks a lot better too.
So how much did you pay for it versus how much is it worth?
I haven't bought it yet, actually.
Well, then why are you reviewing
Pirated
it?
copy, huh?
No, I just borrowed a copy. I'm going to buy it, but I wanted to play through it and try it.
Borrowed.
Nude.
Borrowed off of the torrents.
It was given to me. Shut up.
How did you get past Comcast?
I'm borrowing it from a friend.
This guy in China was really cool.
Oh.
No, but I mean, this is one of those games I enjoyed enough that I will buy, and I will, it's worth patronizing because it's some of these games, even the demos don't give you enough. You really have to play like the first half of the game to decide if it's worthy, because
But it sounds
sometimes
like
you get
I'll
halfway
Blue
through
Dragon.
it and it's just a downer after that. So
no,
man.
that was just a slice out of the middle of the game, not playing halfway
Yeah,
through.
why am I small? You have anything for us, Steve?
I really liked it
full
back when it
tabula
was
rasa.
King's Bounty.
King's Bounty.
What do you have for us, Steve?
It's just more tabula rasa. I mean, most of the stuff I said before is more or less the same. It's, the debug stuff is turned off for the live game, so It actually runs.
So you don't get stuck in walls now?
Actually, interestingly enough, their stuck command is really good. If you get stuck in something, you just type /stuck, and it actually kind of redoes the terrain a little bit so that you're not in the terrain anymore.
Oh, nice. That's pretty sweet. That's
Actually,
a nice way around
I
a
got
bug.
stuck in the. I got stuck in a. There was a couple of trees that go down over this river, so you have to walk over it. I got stuck on one of the things. And I'm like, oh crap! It's like the day after release day. There's no way a petition's going to happen anytime within 12 hours. So just so I know, I just typed /stuck, and part of the log went away.
That's a
And I was
neat
able
way
to
around a
run it.
bug
So
that
it's
you
like,
probably
that's
can't
pretty
fix. We'll just take the terrain away, and now you're free to move again.
That's really...
That's kind of ingenious, actually.
You got anything?
I was
John?
going to say, too, the only problem with Tabula Rasa is that it's got a big memory leak in it.
So
after-
how long can you play for?
like 3-4 hours, depending on how many times you zone. But you open up after you zone a couple times and you open up Task Manager, you can see the memory going up in Task Manager on the back. So if you get up to about a gig and a half, it's time to find someplace safe to log out and log back in, and then you're good for like 3 hours. Then apparently the drivers for the 8800 GT and GTS NVIDIA boards
the
are
GTX.
they're kind of flaky.
Yeah,
So
bummer.
They're crashing things.
That's
on
weird because NVIDIA normally has the better drivers out there. at
Yeah,
least
but they're
lately.
the newer. There's the newer video cards. It's the newer
the new
lineup
GTX,
for.
yeah.
Well, the 8800s in general. I mean,
Yeah.
they're newer. So if you get like the 7000 series or whatever, you're usually pretty
Does
good
that?
now.
Do you know if that runs on both? If it's having problems on both the DirectX 9 or DirectX 10?
I don't know.
Did they even do a DX10 version?
I don't know. I know they have a Vista version that actually runs a little bit smoother because it'll utilize more RAM.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, shooting things blow up. Pretty entertaining.
I was thinking I was thinking about this earlier, but I was thinking about how much fun we were having robbing bots when they were mining in Eve.
Yeah.
Little
macro miners.
raiding the bots, yeah.
They keep putting out new revisions to Eve
So,
nonstop. So
Yeah.
You have
I still get
anything,
the newsletter.
they're doing
John?
They're doing a graphics update on.
I know that's a
December.
stupid question, John.
They're supposed to
Still
make
going
stuff,
here.
non-DirectX 10.
Have you played anything from this year?
It's supposed to it looks better.
I did get a chance to try
fancier.
that B-movie game demo.
The one you've talked about for the past couple podcasts.
And after playing it, I really am not sure why I saw the good press for it. It looked like a pretty simple Simon Says kind of thing. Had a lot of personality. They did really good character animations for it, but as a game goes, there wasn't much there.
Okay. Fair
There's
enough.
enough
This
for a
B
demo,
movie-
but not enough for a real game.
It's pretty much follow the arrows and press the buttons at the right time.
Although I did see...
Did the guy who gave this a good review also give the good review to the Yaris game? Because there was a guy on Ars that gave a great review to the Yaris game.
I could...
followed by
the same
50 or
guy.
60 comments of, what the hell are you smoking?
This B movie gets enough.
I can download the Yaris game is free on XBLA. You can just download it.
That's because
There's
that's
a
the
reason
only-
it's
Yeah.
free.
Nobody would
Anybody
actually
ever
pay
play
money
it.
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but hey, I could score some easy achievement
Oh, come on.
points.
Some Yahoo out there will pay for it.
Somebody bought Power Shovel. Oh, wait.
Hey, if Power Shovel came out on Xbox Live, John would have all the achievements unlocked day one.
Yeah, he would.
I'm pretty good at Power Shovel.
It's like
a fun game.
spoon curry into Microsoft's Office. Achievement unlocked. So I think that's it, unless we have some gibberish that we want to talk about.
I'd just like to point out the utter lack of media attention to Hellgate London being released.
Yeah.
That's kind of surprising. Everything's gone quiet.
Well, I
No advertisements, no campaigns. I didn't even see it. It wasn't on Penny Arcade. It wasn't anywhere.
and
what's funny is leading up to this, Kotaku had something from them every week.
Yeah,
some new
and then,
video, some new something.
And then
right?
the
Well,
game
and then
comes
M
out and
said,
it's like nothing.
Then it went dead quiet.
Hellgate London came out on Halloween. I'm like,
Yeah.
it did? Really?
well,
Not sure?
I actually saw it in the ads this week, this Sunday. The flyers, they had it in some of the for Circuit City and Best Buy, but that was all I saw. There's nothing bonus or no press.
And I
or
went
nothing.
I went to Media Center this last weekend.
Media Center.
I mean the media
The Microsoft one?
Micro Center. I went to Micro Center
Okay.
this weekend with Roger, and they had Hellgate London on the PC there.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I was kind of half interested in seeing what it was. Roger goes up to the computer and it crashes. He doesn't touch anything, and it crashes, and it just goes to like the Vista, like, whatever screen.
Yeah, well, how many times do they actually, give a rat's ass about that machine?
Well, true,
You know.
but I mean,
It's like, oh yeah, we watch porn after hours on this machine.
yeah. Why would they even need that? They sell like 50 billion monitors. I'm sure they don't need to
Well,
concentrate
like
on
how they
that.
have those Winbooks. Oh, by the way, the Winbook thing, I could never figure out the Winbook thing. That's Micro Center's house brand.
Yeah, it is.
Huh.
It's their actual own brand. They've been making it for 20 years, apparently.
Who knew?
I heard that, too, and I was over there doing
They
some...
seem to be pretty decent as like monitors because they all have DVI inputs. So if you want a really big monitor,
you can tell it's their house brand, too, because you go into their video game center, and that's the monitor
the
that's
Winbooks.
got all their games on.
well, that big one that comes in when you walk in the front door is a Winbook.
So,
Yeah.
John, did you see that they have like new word games on XBLA now? They have like a
I
couple.
know there's one that's supposed to be coming out on Wednesday.
Is that when Xbox Live Arcade games come out every Wednesday?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Omega 5.
You and me both.
It's close. We're getting close.
What about Omega Race?
I think it's out the end of the month, isn't it?
Omega Race.
You guys try E4?
Yeah, with the enhanced HD graphics for a vector game.
Every extend extra extreme.
No.
Now I'm really
Is
dating
that on there
myself.
now?
Yeah, it's been out.
God, no. I just turned mine
No,
on
no,
for the
you-
first time
wait,
after a month.
You're
yesterday.
not dating yourself,
The,
Steve. You didn't mention
R4
Star
mode that it's
Castle.
got is pretty cool.
Nice.
It's actually, you play it like a real shooter instead of a crazy shooter.
Nice.
Okay, please explain the difference between a real shooter and a crazy shooter.
Well,
Real
crazy shooter,
shooter-
you have to memorize fractal geometry in order to
Oh, my
avoid
God.
bullet hell.
The real shooter, you kill things by shooting them. Crazy shooter, you kill things by blowing up.
Wait, what?
Oh, every
'Cause it's-
extend extra.
Oh.
Blow your ship up.
It's a reverse shooter or something.
I don't really know what you're talking about. So,
I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
so here's a picture of a, yeah,
Here's a picture of a rabbit with a Wiimote on its head.
yes.
An excellent choice.
that
I bet it
guy
can
in
get a
Korea
perfect
again?
score on Wii Bowling, too.
Well, I like watching the commercials of the old guys bowling with the Wiimote. I'm like, couldn't you just go bowling? Did not have the time.
Well, they're not allowed to leave because there's kids on their lawn.
Yeah, they're supposed to leave to get the kids off their
You
lawn.
sure they can even hold the bowling ball anymore?
Yeah, it's figured
A
old
Wiimote
guys,
is
that's-
slightly lighter than
That's all they
the
do is
actual bowling
woodwork
ball.
and bowling and golf. So,
They need to come up with a whittling game for the.
yes.
For the Wii.
They need a bona fide get the hell off my lawn Wii game.
It's the Dremel
So-
on
so
Wii.
what do you
With
need?
a plastic cane
Yes.
snap an attachment for
Yes.
the Wiimote.
Yes.
Yeah, you just have your cane. It's like, get off my lawn. So
It's called whippersnapper.
they actually might do that. That's.
It's, I'm sure, an untapped blue ocean.
Yes, that along with the Wii mother-son incest game for Japan.
The Wii proctology simulation.
Is this a Stephen King book?
Yeah.
It's like Sleepwalkers in Tokyo.
Yes.
So just like that one arcade machine, we'll get a giant plastic fist with a finger coming out
Well,
of it to
isn't-
snap the
Oh,
Isn't-
Wiimote
Boonga
into.
Boonga.
Isn't there a word for that?
You mean other than wrong?
No, there's an actual like word for it in Japanese. It's so common.
Oh, yeah, he's thinking that about the blog that teacher wrote about kids who kept trying to stick him in the butt.
No, that's a different
What?
one. No, that's a different
Wait, what
one.
blogs are you reading? Wait,
No, I know.
is this a common
that's
occurrence in
different-
Japan?
I know you're talking about that one. No, and I can't remember what that's called. That was funnier
Concho.
than hell. Concho, that's what it was.
Oh,
Concho is pretty funny. I'll look it up. I'll let you know next podcast.
concho.
Yeah.
A word
So,
you should probably use
remember,
in Japan all the
everyone,
time.
Next podcast, all mother-son incest all the time.
Concho guaranteed.
Diehard Gamer Radio does not endorse John.
There's no endorsement money to endorse this
Okay,
one.
so right before we end the podcast, I need to have Steve get whatever it is out of his system. So start doing your lethal weapon stuff now.
What?
Well, you want to do your
What, do I?
I'm here, where's Riggs?
You been decaffeinated?
Sounds like you got it covered, man.
I think it's really.
You're obviously the
you.
only
Did I
person
give you?
that cares.
Did I give you that soundbite? The
Um,
diplomatic immunity.
No,
Diplomatic community.
I did say it at work today though.
What was the situation where you needed to say that?
He's an IT man. He gets to say it.
I'm in IT. I just get to say crazy things. And people
Yeah.
just say, "Well, those IT guys are crazy guys."
You broke the
I,
you broke the internet, so you need to reboot the servers.
We've got
like stuff like that.
We've got RJ45 ports on our wall at work, and it only allows one because it comes from a 24 thing switch up in the main office. It only goes out to one port, and you can't split a port. I didn't know that at the time, so I went to Micro Center and bought a 2-to-1 splitter because we had another computer we got in, and of course it wouldn't take it out of the port. It just didn't recognize it when you put two computers into it. So I called the IT guy for the new company that bought us, Whole Foods, and he sends me a switch to plug that in, and he addresses it Brian IT. Because I was the only one that knew what I was talking about there, so I must have been IT for the for the store.
Hey, what
Became
that was
honorary
ironic.
tech support.
Yeah.
It's not really an honor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
once again,
It's a
you
trap.
yeah once
Is what it
again
really is.
yeah once again you cannot spell shit without IT.
Yeah, well, you can't sell. I tell you.
What?
I just had this. Yeah, I had this great experience with things today. So.
Things.
Yeah,
Poo.
which is why I needed diplomatic immunity.
Maybe you just need to be decaffeinated.
Oh, decaffeinated.
All right. So next podcast we'll have John start spewing off his favorite movie quotes.
Either that or all mother-son incest all the time.
I know there's a Japanese word for that, and I'll look it up.
I only know that I know the Japanese words for other things, just not that thing.
Yeah.
So what Japanese thing names do you know? And do we have to check your bookmarks list to find them all?
No.
Next week I'll bring Zakennayo with us.
What?
I have a book of Japanese slang and all sorts of stuff like
Yeah,
that.
Let's just mix them into the podcast. It'll be a good time.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
We
Yeah.
might attract more audience.
Yeah.
We'll just sound more like otaku.
Hentai for the win.
We'll just do broken Japanese with Japanese curse words we don't know how to use.
Yeah,
It'll be
it's one
great.
of- One of these. Well, actually, it not only does it list them, but it shows you how to use them in particular situations.
No, the only
pretty cool.
No, the only Japanese phrase that I've been using.
And we're
that
not talking boobies here. We're talking.
Boku wa no oki desu ne.
No, that's not the Japanese I'm using. Not boku wa oki desu. I'm huge.
I am huge.
I just know opai.
Well,
You know, I need to get a little picture of the tick
Tasty.
and put that right above as a word for
I'm huge. Dig me.
Except we need to find the Japanese word for chum.
Yeah. I think it's chum.
Chamu. It's probably chamu.
Chamu.
No, the only Japanese phrase that I've been using on a semi-regular basis is zettai ruiki. Is the only one that I've been using.
Why do you use that on a semi-regular basis?
Because zettai ruiki is the term used for the piece of flesh that you see between a skirt and thigh highs. There's actually a word for that. It translates to absolute territory.
And you doubt that there's a word for mother-son incest.
Well, it's probably the same Japanese kanji for normal occurrence. Is probably what it is. It's probably some bastardization.
Well,
or something.
mother love.
Well-adjusted family relations.
Yeah,
Dr. Phil.
Yeah, common in Japan equals incest mother-daughter. So,
No, I think that's a different word. Strangely enough, the same kanji for mother-son incest is also for love line.
it is. It's also the one kanji off, and you're at a train station somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, so
You're hosting Iron Chef.
it's the theme ingredient. All right, so we've degraded enough.
Yeah, let's end this before it's
Before we go to hell.
Actually, let's just cap it off.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to Diehard
put
Gamer
it
Radio. We're sorry. We're sorry if we offended the entire world with
Come here, Geller! Come here!
Thank you for listening to Diehard Gamer Radio. You can visit our website at diehardgamerradio.com and iTunes, or you can email us at diehardgamerradio@gmail.com.